Rollins wins the title!
The WWE Money in the Bank is one of the most exciting parts of modern wrestling. Next to the Royal Rumble, who will win the WWE Money in the Bank briefcase and cash it in anytime, anywhere, is one of the most electrifying parts of the year. But which WWE wrestlers successfully cashed in their Money in the Bank briefcase to become a WWE Champion?
Get a ref out here right now, I'm cashing in my Money in the Bank. Oh yeah!
There's no question that Brock Lesnar hasn't missed a step in the WWE since his debut. This was evident by his 2019 Money in the Bank victory.
1 year after 2019 Money in the Bank pay-per-view of that. I got a year. Yeah!
Brock would interfere midway through the match, climbing the ladder and taking the briefcase for himself. His cash-in would come after a mixed tag team match at Extreme Rules, where Lesnar would deliver an F5 and reclaim the Universal Championship. Earlier on this year, despite not being a Money in the Bank ladder match winner, The Miz would capture the contract for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity after defeating Otis in a match prior for the briefcase. Elimination Chamber 2021 saw Drew McIntyre defend his WWE Championship in the Elimination Chamber match against 5 other competitors, but the night was not done for the Scotsman, as an attack from Bobby Lashley gave The Miz the perfect time to cash in his contract and become a 2-time WWE Champion. In an episode of Raw prior to Money in the Bank, the lunatic fringe Dean Ambrose would declare that he was going to win the briefcase, cash it in the same night, and become WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Well, he did just that. In the main event of the night, Seth Rollins would defeat Roman Reigns for the title, but not before a surprise attack from behind with a contract, as Dean Ambrose would deliver a Dirty Deeds to secure his first ever WWE Championship. In 2005, the first ever WWE Money in the Bank ladder match was held at WrestleMania. The winner, Edge. With one goal in mind, Edge would go on to cash in his contract at New Year's Revolution, delivering not 1 but 2 spears, capturing his first ever WWE Championship. Deep into 2015, the Authority was running Rampage. This was seen when Kane would interfere in the Money in the Bank ladder match, allowing Seth Rollins to secure the briefcase. While the ending might have annoyed fans, the cash-in certainly didn't. The Architect would sprint down the ramp in the main event of WrestleMania, delivering a curb stomp to Roman Reigns, and committing the heist of the century.
Seth Rollins wins the title!
With a run-in from Edge and a 5-star frog splash, RVD would become WWE Champion for the first and the only time in his WWE career. Just 1 year after his first cash-in against John Cena, on an episode of SmackDown in 2007, Edge saw his perfect opportunity, marching down to the ring with a down and out Undertaker. One spear later, and the Phenom gave up his World Heavyweight Championship to the Rated R Superstar. In 2008, Batista took down Edge with an assault on the champion, which gave CM Punk the perfect opportunity to defeat Edge with a go to sleep, and give CM Punk his first ever World Heavyweight Championship. But just 1 year later, and this Rated Superstar would do just the same. Punk delivers another go to sleep, hooking the leg for the second successful Money in the Bank cash-in of his career.
Charlotte had her hand on the briefcase, Tamina right on top of her.
2017 saw the first ever Women's Money in the Bank match, which was long overdue, and the winner, Carmella. How she captured the briefcase was controversial in itself, as fans weren't okay that a man was included in the winning of the first ever Women's Money in the Bank ladder match. But nonetheless, after a second briefcase win on SmackDown, she would go on to cash in the Money in the Bank briefcase, delivering a princess kick to Charlotte, securing her first ever SmackDown Women's Championship. She wasted no time cashing it in just 5 days later on SmackDown.
Get a ref out here right now, I'm cashing in my Money in the Bank. Oh yeah!
Y2J would fall victim to the fate of a champion with a successful Money in the Bank cash-in from Jack Swagger. Having won the briefcase just earlier on that night, Kane would obliterate the 5-footer, become a WWE Champion in the process. 2018 saw the second edition of the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match, with Alexa Bliss taking the crown this time. Just 90 minutes later, during a match between Ronda Rousey and Nia Jax, Bliss would cause a disqualification, destroying both competitors with a briefcase, and cashing in the contract for an instant title shot. Bliss would hit a DDT and a Twisted Bliss to become the new WWE Raw Women's Champion. But he wouldn't think twice about cashing in the contract, and after a reversed RKO into a skull-crushing finale, Miz would become WWE Champion. However, following an attack from Kevin Nash, Alberto Del Rio took the perfect opportunity to cash in the contract on CM Punk. delivering just a step up in Zaguri to become the WWE Champion. This year's Women's Money in the Bank ladder match saw 8 women battle for the all-important contract, with the reinvented Nikki Ash claiming the contract in a surprise victory as the other women in the match were distracted. Just the next night in the first Raw with fans back since the pandemic era, and she interrupted the Raw Women's Championship rematch between Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley, capturing her first ever Women's Championship after a truly shocking post-match cash-in. After an attack from Mark Henry and a brutal chairs match at TLC, Daniel Bryan would cash in on the Big Show, simply sprinting down the ring and pinning the big man for the belt. Truly a monumental moment in Bryan's career, 2012 saw Dolph Ziggler win a ladder match to claim his contract for a championship match, and after just a zigzag, he'd become the World Heavyweight Champion. This was one of my favourite Money in the Bank cash-ins, as the crowd were truly going crazy. SummerSlam 2013 would see Daniel Bryan secure the WWE Championship for the first time in his career, defeating John Cena in his peak. With confetti dropping from the ceiling, Randy Orton would set his sights on the newly crowned champion Daniel Bryan, and after a heartbreaking swerve from special guest referee Triple H, who delivered a pedigree to Bryan, Orton would secure the gold in probably the most heart-wrenching Money in the Bank cash-in in WWE history. In Survivor Series 2015, Sheamus would rush down the ring, delivering not one but 2 bro kicks to Roman Reigns, causing the head of the table's WWE Championship title reign to come to a crashing end. Before Bayley was the character we know as her today, she was a fun-loving hugger, but that didn't mean that she didn't get to capture the gold. A Money in the Bank ladder match and a cash-in later the same night saw her hit an elbow drop on Charlotte to become the new SmackDown Women's Champion.